The first sentence of Charles Ponzi's Wikipedia entry says he was, quote, an Italian swindler and con artist in the United States and Canada. Ponzi is notorious for creating the Ponzi scheme, also known as a pyramid scheme. How does it work? Hypothetically, let's say I open an investment firm called the Pyramid of Success. And lucky you, for a minimum $1,000, you can be my first client ever. And even better, I promise a 20% return in 1 year, or $200 on your $1,000 investment. You might be thinking, I have my work cut out for me, earning 20% in a year. Well, Charles Ponzi looked at it differently. See, in the short run, I can pay my early investors at the Pyramid of Success their 20% gain by acquiring new clients. In other words, I can pay off the old clients with the new clients' money. My 1 year deadline essentially keeps getting pushed further and further back in time as long as I can keep getting new clients. But here's the rub. There's a limited amount of people on this planet, so I eventually run out of new clients. And even worse for me, a new injection of $1,000 will not cover the original $1,000 investment. No, I need at least $1,200 to sleep even remotely soundly at night. Because after my so-called investment agreement ends, after a year, I must be able to return the promised $200 gain as well as the original $1,000 capital. If I can't, the whole scheme is exposed, and I'm likely looking at fraud charges and a whole lot of prison time, which is exactly what happened to Ponzi and more recently Bernie Madoff circa 2009. And this constant need for new and more money is why Ponzi's invention is often called a pyramid scheme. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. The more clients you get, the bigger injection of clients you'll need in the future. Notice how the pyramid keeps widening out as you go along down the base. That's why it's called a pyramid. And by the way, I should probably point out at this moment, if anyone offers you a guaranteed or safe investment, please run. That person is either a swindler or, to be brutally honest, they're not worthy of to be trusted with your hard-earned wealth. And with that, let's transition into a little trivia, shall we? In 2009, during the housing crisis's wake, the United States Federal Reserve injected about $200 billion into the economy. Now, for my crisp $20 bill, how much was the check you received from the Federal Reserve? And hey, if you were a kid, go ask whoever was the head of your household. Go ahead, I'll wait. Trick question. See, the truth is, you probably got nothing from the Fed and you probably didn't like it either. Or more accurately, you didn't notice. Well, here's the truth. If you and I didn't get checks of that if we didn't get our share of the $200 billion, then where was that new money injected, to use their own language? Well, the answer is mostly into the banking system, who then lent the newly created dollars. Now, because of the subjective theory of value and the sheer number of participants involved, no one could have predicted exactly where this new money would go. But since you and I did not receive our cut, we know it was not distributed uniformly. In fact, historically, the new money flows into hot areas, such as internet companies in the late 1990s and housing in the early to mid-2000s. Areas, and by hot areas, I mean areas that are fashionable and areas that have been increasing in value in recent years and months. Now, the early business recipients of the new dollars hire more people, expand their business, and often open new branches. So basically, in this hot area, the balloon, if you will, expands. Huh? How's that for props? You impressed? I know you are. Okay, now just remember this. Prices are not only events, they are signals. Just as Uber drivers are drawn to increased surge prices and closing time, bankers, investors, and speculators, like myself, notice rising prices in hot areas of the economy and are drawn toward them. Certainly, American housing's decades-long run of increased prices caused many to think that that trend would continue unabated. However, this expansion is not real wealth expansion. It is the exchange of something for nothing. It is money created out of thin air and then traded for real goods and services. It is not investment. It is what Austrian economists call malinvestment. People are misled by false signals created by the flow of new dollars and lured into financing and purchasing things they otherwise not have without this injection of new dollars. Now, this malinvestment and the spending it causes can manifest itself in many ways, from the type of business, the number of employees, even where the business itself is located. Now, malinvestment is not to say that certain people, particularly the early receivers of the new money, will not benefit. Clearly, people inside hot money balloons whose wages rise will see at least temporary benefits. And with those rising wages, these people are certain to spend some of their newfound money. And with each subsequent transaction after that point, the exchange of something for nothing continues, which creates further pockets or balloons of malinvestment, none of which anyone can possibly account for or predict with any mathematical precision. Those of us not inside of a hot money balloon, figuratively speaking, receive the new dollars eventually, but not before they've been exchanged for something several times. The purchasing power of our savings is diminished by the presence of new dollars, which is as simple as supply and demand. You see, the dollar's buying power is often referred to as real wages. In other words, the amount of dollars you take home might stay the same from year to year, but your real wage is based on what those dollars can actually buy you. Just as Ponzi schemes or pyramid schemes require a never-ending stream of new investors, each new malinvestment requires more malinvestment, new dollars, to prop it up. Naturally, this further devalues the dollar's purchasing power. Late receivers of new dollars see their real wages fall. Eventually, the voting public and the Fed become concerned about the devalued dollar, aka decreased real wages. But here's the rub. The longer malinvestment continues, the more people are employed because of malinvestment, the spending that it causes. So the Fed puts itself in the unenviable position of choosing between the value of people's savings and wages or other people's jobs, their income. Now notice the zero-sum choice that is created here. Some people are inevitably going to be on the losing end of this choice.